Hello students. Today we will start with the chapter Water and its importance. You know, water is a very necessary for living, for the growth and development. Water is very necessary. We need water for the drinking purpose. We need water for cooking food, for washing the utensils, for washing the clothes also, for watering the plants and many more. Think, if in your colony the water supply stops for a day, then what will happen? So it means the importance of water in your life is very much. So we have to learn that how to use water wisely. Okay, so in this chapter we will study the different topics. The topics under this chapter are sources of water, that from where we get the water. Sources means from where we can get the water. Next is importance of water, that what is the importance of water in our life, where we can use the water wisely. Next we will talk about the states of water, that in which states the water exists. Next we will talk about water cycle. This is very important. Next we will talk about drought and flood. That what is drought and what is flood. Next we have to deal with the topic, that is conservation of water. That how to conserve water from the various sources. So let's start with the chapter. Now let's discuss some sources of water. So the first source water is rainwater. It is the natural, fresh and the purest form of the natural water, and the rainwater is mainly collected in rivers, ponds and lakes. The rainwater we usually collect in rivers, ponds, lakes, streams. We collect the rainwater and we use. It is the most fresh and the natural source of water, and it is fit for use. Next is surface water. So what is surface water? Water in oceans, seas, rivers, streams and lakes. It is called surface water. The water which exists in oceans, seas, rivers, streams, lakes, it is known as surface water. Now, rather than the rainwater, the melting of snow from the mountain also is a source of water. It is also get collected in rivers and oceans and seas. Firstly, from the rainwater it is collecting here. Secondly, when the snow from the mountains melt, it also the water, when the snow melts, the water forms and it is also collected in oceans, seas, rivers and streams. Also, the sea water contains a large amount of dissolved salt. So, the main salt is, common salt is dissolved in the sea water. That is why it is also known as saline water. Okay. So, we have already talked about the separation of salt from the sea water, that how we can separate. Next is, this sea water is not fit for drinking and household use and farming. Why it is not used? Because there are so many dissolved salts are there which are dissolved in the sea water, which are not fit for us. That is why we are not using this sea water for drinking and household. But in another use, we can use the sea water in another purpose. So now let's do the third point, that is groundwater. Now the next source of water is groundwater, that from where the groundwater get. Okay, so when there is a rainfall, some amount or the amount of water is absorbed by the earth through the soil. Means soil is absorbing the rainwater, and the absorbed water that is being stored by the non-porous rocks present below the surface of earth. So now these non-porous rocks, they collect the coming water above it. Okay. So the reservoir where the water is being collected, it is known as underground water. It is also known as subsoil water. Okay, so what it is, how we can get groundwater? When there is a rainfall, some amount of water is absorbed by the soil and it goes down and it is stopped by the non-porous rocks. The rocks present below the surface of the earth stop this absorbed water and connect all the water above it, okay, in a reservoir, and that collected water is known as underground water. It is also known as groundwater or subsoil water. Okay, the level of underground water is known as water level. Okay, so how we can get the groundwater? We can get the groundwater by digging wells. Okay, with the help of digging wells, we can get this groundwater. By digging taps also, we can also get the groundwater. Nowadays, the level of a groundwater is being decreasing. It means it is going down. So, there is a need to conserve the water. There is a need to conserve the rainwater. This all that how we will conserve the rainwater, how we can harvest the rainwater, that we will study in detail in this chapter.